If you just got engaged over Christmas and New Year, first of all, congratulations. I'm sure it's a very, very exciting time. But then there always comes that moment where it's like, oh, we've got quite a big project to build now. So I wanted to put together 7 steps which can get you started off nice and early. I'm a professional wedding photographer and I see this all the time. And the couples that enjoy the planning process and the wedding tend to do these 7 things first. So let's get started. Step 1. The first thing, honestly, is just pause. You've just got engaged and it's an exciting time. Putting a wedding together is a big project. There's a lot of moving parts, which is why I want to help you through these steps and through my future videos to make that a little bit easier for you. You don't need to instantly start worrying about guest lists and venues. Just enjoy being in the moment. Go out for a meal together. Tell some of the most important people in your life and feel that excitement before the overwhelm kicks in. So right now, just enjoy it. You don't have to do anything immediately. Number 2, pick a time of year. What are you thinking? Are you thinking winter wedding? Are you thinking summer wedding? Are you thinking weekend or weekday? Once you start thinking about that, it makes it a little bit easier to start thinking about venues and suppliers. Obviously in winter, midweek, there's going to be a lot more availability and it's probably going to be cheaper than, say, a weekend in the middle of June. And to be honest, like I've been to weddings where the weather has been glorious in January and it's been raining in July. So that's one thing to consider early on because that's going to be your first step. Point 3, you don't need a final guest list just yet. That comes a little bit later, but it's good to start thinking about numbers because the numbers affect your catering and it affects the venue. And I know it can be a little bit stressful because these things tend to grow. Like, I can't invite this person without this person. And you might want a 20-person wedding, but end up with 150 people, kind of like we did when we got married. So are we talking less than 50, which would be classified as a sort of more of an intimate wedding, or somewhere between 50 and 100, which would be more of a medium, or a big, which tends to be over 100. Once you decide which bracket you want to go in, then that makes it easier when it comes to looking for suppliers and wedding venues. Number 4, book the venue. There's many different to-do lists when it comes to planning a wedding, and the first thing you need is a venue. Because once you've got your venue, then you've got your date. And then once you've got your date, it opens up the next list, which is suppliers and things that you need to book in time and check people's availability. So it's really good to get that venue locked in, which can be really exciting for you and your partner, going around and looking at venues, speaking to venues, seeing if that fits your vibe. But yeah, once that's locked in, then you can really start looking into your suppliers. Number 5, choose suppliers that you trust. It's our job as suppliers to give you the confidence that we know what we're doing. So when your wedding day comes, you don't need to be worrying about, will the catering arrive on time? Does the photographer know what he's doing? Because ultimately that gets done now, like through our interactions before the wedding, so we can fill you with that confidence. So on the day you can relax, because ultimately, especially from a wedding photographer's perspective, it's really important that you relax because it changes the results. And through the process that I go through, which is getting to know you, getting to understand about your day, I can understand what it is that's important to you, and then I can deliver that back to you. And my service starts from the minute that we make contact right to the end of delivery and beyond. So I really recommend having a proper conversation with your suppliers and make sure you connect with them. Make sure they make you feel relaxed. Number 6, and this is a biggie, there are no rules when it comes to weddings. You can do what you want. The order of things doesn't matter. And you can do things without having to please other people, because ultimately it is your day. And you'll find it more relaxing if you design something which is more suits you and your partner rather than trying to impress in-laws or neighbours. So I'd really think about that. You're making this wedding for you. It's your wedding and nobody else's. And everyone else is along on that journey for you. So they'll be happy for you ultimately. There are no rules. Remember that. Number 7, this is another big one. Your day will go really fast, like really fast. That's why, photographers are there to capture it, because you're not going to be everywhere all at once. And what I'd recommend in the planning is try not to cram too much in and try not to be too stuck to the timings, because sometimes it just doesn't go that way. If you plan it to the minute, it might become stressful on the day when things aren't going exactly as you wanted them to. You've got to give yourself a little bit of breathing room. Things happen and timings change. So I think it's really important to just get settled with the idea that it is going to go fast, and in your planning process, just work out how you want people to feel and slow it down and try not to cram too much in too close together, because if it starts going a little bit off track, it might start making you a little bit stressed. And I've seen it a couple of times and it's quite easily avoidable. So those 7 tips to get you going. I'm available for a chat if you want to have a more in-depth chat. My approach is I like to get to know couples. I like them to get to know me a little bit, because if I can make you relaxed and we can communicate well together, ultimately the end results are going to be better. I specialise in natural, candid style photography. So I tend to blend in with your guests. I make friends early on, so later on in the day, they don't see me as the photographer creeping around. They see me as Scott, who they've had a chat with before. He's fine, he's doing his job. And the results generally are better. Ultimately, I don't want you worrying about me on your wedding day, thinking I'm not in the right place or I'm not getting the results that you're looking for, because we've been through this. We'll have gone through this at each stage of the photography planning. I try not to use a flash or the clicking during your ceremonies, and I've seen this 100 times, and it's just not necessary with new modern day camera equipment. And there's nothing worse than you trying to be in the moment and you're seeing flashes and clicks. If I can get away with it, I won't do that, because it is really distracting. So I invite you just to have a look at my page and have a look at my work. And if you like my style of work, then I'd love to have a chat with you about your day. I'm going to be releasing more of these videos, so tune into those and I hope they're helpful. Thank you.